Okay, so the first thing is organization. Organization is a big factor in being able to study with ease. You'll know where everything is and will know the things you need to understand in your subject. One of the things you can do to stay organized is creating a schedule, which basically means having a planner. You can write things you need to remember to things you need to do. This means doing the most important first, then the least important. Another thing you can do to stay organized is to know what you're learning, and the tip is to take notes. Whether it's taking notes from your actual teacher or from a teacher online, the notes can really help you. You can also sustain neat and organized things. You basically just need to figure out what you have and need and put them in their own section. You should also have a neat and organized working area. Another important thing to do to stay organized is to not do multiple tasks at once. Basically, don't multitask. If you split your attention into doing two things, you might get the other thing you're working on wrong. You should also keep things like folders, binders, notes, etc. organized too. Another important thing to do is to monitor your grades so that you know whether or not you're doing good in a class. Up next is time. Time management is important since it helps you to get plenty of things done in a good amount of time. You can probably get multiple assignments done if you handle the time you've got right. One thing you can do for time management is to make multiple study sessions so that your brain doesn't get tired from working too hard and too long. You can set a timer for 50 minutes and then after 50 minutes you can break for 10. One of the things you shouldn't do for time management is procrastinate, which basically means getting off task. If you procrastinate, it might take you longer to finish the things you need to do, and that'll probably result in you staying up later and having less energy the next day. So procrastinating isn't really a good thing to do. Another thing you shouldn't do for time management is starting on things like assignments last minute. Putting things last minute can result in you getting overwhelmed by all the work you have to do, since most likely all the work you put to the side will pile up. This last one isn't really related to time management, but it's a good thing to know. You should always have a goal for each study session so that you can always get things done whenever you study. The goals can be as simple as finishing 2 math problems to finishing an assignment on something like StudySync. Up next is brain warm-ups. Brain warm-ups before actually studying, for some people, can help their brain get energized before starting their study session. Things you can do for brain warm-ups include doing a Sudoku puzzle, doing a crossword puzzle, trying to solve riddles, and trying to count backwards from 100. One app that you can use as a brain warm-up is called Escape Room. You can use this as a brain warm-up because it makes you use your mind to figure out clues that you can put in the keypad right here and escape the room. Another thing you can do is test yourself. To make sure you understand the topic, you can test yourself or have someone test you. This can make sure you focus on the things you have trouble with and get it right when there's a test, if there is going to be a test. Some small tips you can do for this is to try and answer a question without looking at the answer, then write down the questions you get wrong, focus mainly on your wrong answers, and keep on testing yourself until you get the wrong answers right. Right here, I'm just writing down my answers. And now I'm checking to see whether or not I got my answers right. Okay, so one thing that is scientifically proven is the forgetting curve. The forgetting curve represents how much information you obtain when first learning a topic and how much information you keep or lose depending on how much you continue to review the subject. On day 1 of learning the subject, you remember 100% of it. As the days go by with no review, you'll be left trying to remember what you learned on day 1 of the subject. But if days go by with regular review, you'll be able to sustain the information you learned better than if you were to do it without regular review. To actually see the forgetting curve chart, just search it up. You should also see which study techniques work best, because sometimes things just don't work out. That's why you have to find things that work best for you in order to make things work better. For this, you should go through different types of study techniques and see which one you like best. For example, you might not like the study technique of staying in one area to do your work, so you might go to different environments to study. And that's all the study tips in this video.